Hello and welcome to From the South, teleSUR's daily news show. We start off in Latin America. Brazilians are responding to the ousting of former lower house speaker Eduardo Cunha, the man responsible for engineering the impeachment of President Dilma Rousseff. Cunha has been charged with corruption by the Supreme Court and faces arrest now that he's lost his congressional immunity. In Venezuela, the 17th summit of the non-aligned movement has begun, this time on the island of Margarita. Heads of state and representatives of 120 nations will focus on the promotion and defense of world peace, one of the fundamental principles of the movement. The non-aligned movement is the second largest international body after the United Nations. It has 53 members from Africa, 39 from Asia, 26 from Latin America and the Caribbean, 17 observer countries, and 10 observer organizations. The summit, which ends on September 18th, has been instrumental in the fight against colonialism, imperialism, racism, and oppression. Colombia's FARC guerrillas have issued an official apology to the nation for the kidnapping of thousands of people to fund half a century of conflict. The rebels and government are gearing up to sign a peace agreement to end the war that has killed more than 220,000 people and displaced millions. About 7,000 FARC fighters will be incorporated into society and permitted to form a political party. We want to acknowledge with the sentiment of humanity and reconciliation that during the conflict the FARC also caused great pain with the retention of people for economic reasons. That conduct, while always used to sustain the needs of the rebellion, resulted in harming entire families. Now that more than 4 years have passed since this type of procedure, we reiterate today to our country our commitment not to repeat it, and our desire that such practices be buried for always with the war that is ending.
The new Peruvian Minister of Economics, Alfredo Thorne, proposed eliminating the main tool of the tax entity, SUNAT, to fight against tax evasion by large corporations. Thorne argued he does not want a persecuting state. For analyst Carlos Bedoya, such move comes to no surprise.
This is not a technocrat cabinet. When you look at each minister, you can see that this is a business cabinet that comes from corporate boards. And for the members of the business boards, there is little interest in having SUNAT demand taxes that they are not paying by using tricks.
Meanwhile, for users of public services like hospitals, the state needs to collect more in taxes in order to make improvements.
The hospitals are saturated. Sick people are piled up on top of each other. You can come in and see.
The last time they sent me to do a brain scan, there was nothing there.
It takes too much time to get a medical appointment. For example, right now, my hand is paralyzed, and they're giving me an appointment for the 29th.
The government recognizes that the state must increase investment in services and that large corporations owe more than $13 billion to the state. Despite that, they have not specified what mechanisms they will use to acquire the funds. Rael Mora, teleSUR, Peru.
On to world news. Residents have experienced a rare day of calm in Aleppo's rebel-held neighborhoods. This is due to the implementation of a ceasefire which has been billed as the last chance for peace in Syria. The truce was brokered by Russia and the United States and began on sundown on Monday. Saudi-led coalition airstrikes hit a sports complex in the capital of Yemen. This is according to residents and witnesses of Sanaa. There were no immediate reports of casualties. Fighting between the Saudi-led coalition and Houthi rebels has intensified since failed peace talks ended in August. Britain's Prime Minister Theresa May welcomed Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi to number 10 Downing Street. The two countries are seeking to strengthen bilateral ties. May and Suu Kyi also discuss what could be done to support democracy and respect for human rights in Myanmar. 3 Syrian men were arrested in Germany when refugee homes were raided overnight. They were monitored for several months by police. According to Germany's interior minister, the men are members of the Islamic State group who were brought into the country by the same network that smuggled militants into France to carry out deadly attacks last November. Protests have hit India's southern Karnataka state over a Supreme Court order on September 5th that asked for the province to release water from the Kaveri River to neighboring Tamil Nadu state. A curfew has been implemented. The chief minister has appealed for peace. Zambian President Edgar Lungu called for national unity in his inauguration speech. However, the defeated opposition candidate dismissed the ceremony as illegal and unconstitutional. Lugu won the election by around 100,000 votes, but his opponent, Akande Ichilema, has alleged that the result was riddled with fraud. Archaeologists have uncovered the remains of 10 dogs estimated to be about 1,000 years old. The remains were found together with 2 guinea pigs and a human in a zoo located in Peru's capital, Lima. The remains belong to the pre-Incan culture of Yashima, dating back to between 900 and 1470 AD. And that's all for From the South. More on these and other stories on our website, telesurtv.net/English.